This edition of My Thoughts Monday is brought to you by Valve Performance, the team behind the Nordboard, ForceDex, the Groin Bar, and Human Track. Guys, the most important ability for all of our athletes is availability, and that's the absolute goal of Valve Performance, is to provide solutions to performance professionals so that we can get the right information to make the right decision at the right time for the betterment of the athletes that we get to work with. To do this, guys, they have a wide range of validated products that focus on usability, and having being founded by the School of Exercise and Nutrition Sciences at the Queensland University of Technology, they're extremely evidence-based and they're beyond transparent. I can tell you that our time using the Nordboard and being involved with ForceDex, we have been introduced to so many amazing people that have truly helped us become better coaches, have a better understanding, not just of the technology, but also what we're doing with our athletes. So make sure you hop over to valveperformance.com today to make sure you check out what they got. It's going to make you better and to do better by your athletes. The world of strength and conditioning is filled with some awesome practitioners who are always trying to evolve and continue to grow professionally throughout their career. The problem with many of us, though, is finding a new outlet, a new way, and a new perspective on the questions that we may have, whether it be programming, whether it be situational with dealing with coaches, or whether it be career advice. Because all too often what happens is we get stuck in with the same group of friends and the same group of colleagues that we reach out to for advice repeatedly over and over again. But what we should really be looking for is different perspectives, different people who have been through different situations who can help us make better decisions both for ourselves and our athletes. And one awesome place to start with that is the forums in the Strength Coach Network. In the forums in the Strength Coach Network, you'll be able to reach out and get feedback, input, and advice from coaches from all over the world. From everything from career advice to training modalities to programming, there's people there just for the same reason as you are, to try to get better, to learn, to share information, and to grow the field of strength and conditioning. So hop on over to strengthcoachnetwork.com/CVASPS. That's strengthcoachnetwork.com/CVASPS to dive into all that great content today and get your 48-hour trial for only $1. I look forward to seeing you in the Strength Coach Network. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Jay DeMayo coming at you with this week's edition of My Thoughts Monday. You know, guys, today I want to keep running down that rabbit hole of self-reflection and looking back throughout this season and share with you guys another big lesson that I've learned and I really think has helped me be better for the young people that I get to work with. This was a lesson that I really had to take a step back and look at everything more on kind of the same plane. You know, I've talked a lot about eating and our lunch practices and all of that and how important consistent feeding is, and talked a lot about that with the guys. And I've talked a lot about that on these shows too, and how important that is, and, you know, how we've really been pushing for that. But I think that all too often we in the performance world like to look at specific things like that and the consistency being important. Meanwhile, what we do is we like to talk about training programs and how the consistency of the program is really what's most important, right? Like showing up every day, trying hard every day, giving your best every day, following the program as it's supposed to be. That consistency is what we like to preach about as being really the backbone of all of it. But the underlying part of that consistency, in my opinion, is the development of a routine. And that's something that we have put really at a high priority this year with these guys and with the young people that I get to work with, is working with them to help them develop the best possible routine that allows them to perform at their highest level. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, how can we look at different things for each kid that they feel like they need to work on and they feel like they need to get better at? Some, it took most of the year. We had one player who, in a nice way, kind of got called out and was told he needed to be in better shape. Now, I can tell you right now that if we were midway through the season and I had a player come up to me 10 years ago and say, Jay, listen, dude, a couple of the coaches are on me. I got to get in better shape. I got to lean up, or I got to improve my cardio or my aerobic work or whatever. I would have told him, bro, it's the wrong time of the year. Like, we can't do that on top of all the work with practice. Like, that's way too much. But instead of going back to where I have been, I took a step back and I listened. I was like, okay, man, so what do you think we can do that would be in your best interest? You obviously think that this is important. And coaches think this is important. And I expressed my concerns. Like, really what would be most important for you is to run. But with all you're doing at practice and all this, running might not be the best thing, especially if, we start feeling aches and pains in your feet, ankles, or knees, or your back. It's like, well, what about some non-impact stuff? What if we do some bike workouts? And I was like, okay, how much time are you willing to work on that? And he goes, I think I could spare 20 minutes to a half hour after lift the day after a game every week. Okay. So we sat down, we put together a program. We were like, this is what you're going to do. Game day -2, you're going to come in for 20 minutes. You're going to do this bike workout here on out. This is what you're going to do. And lo and behold, he's held to it. This will be his 11th time coming in today. This is the start of week 6. And that's great. And the kid's been playing better. He's more confident. Is this bike workout 100% the cause to the effect of him being more confident and playing better? No. We all know that. But working with the kid and developing a routine for him has helped him believe in himself a little more. And it's helped him have this cycle that he goes through. Game day, either off day or we're back in on the bike working on our conditioning. If it's after the off day, it's lift and then on the bike after the off day. Then it's primer day. Then it's game day. Repeat. So having that box to tick has allowed him to kind of dial in a little better too. I've got another group of guys who came to me early in the season and they were like, Jay, we need to do more upper body work. And again, 10 years ago, I would have told these kids to go kick rocks. Like, what do you need more upper body work for? Why? So you just tighten up and your shot gets all messed up and you feel awful? And they're like, but instead of being young, hard-headed, meathead, control freak Jay, I sat down with these two guys and I was like, what are you thinking? What is important to you? What do we need to do? And how can I help? Sitting down and going through these things and listening to them and having one tell me, when I lift more with my upper body, I feel stronger. And when I feel stronger, I play better. I said, okay. Kind of fitting under the look good, feel good, play good idea, right? I have another one who's a first-year athlete. And he said, I feel like I'm behind everybody and this is really going to help. Plus, if I can do it with this other person, I think that that'll be fun and it'll help keep me engaged and it'll keep things moving forward. To which I said, okay, that's fine. So let's put something together. So the plan was put in. They wanted to bench. They wanted to do 3 sets of bench. Not really a big deal, right? They wanted to do 3 sets of some sort of pulling. Great move, right? For these people to understand that if you're going to push, you've got to pull. Again, not a big deal. We're talking about a total of maybe 35 to 40 reps for those two. They wanted to do more shoulder raises. That's fine. I just asked them one day to be full range of motion so that they stay loose. They wanted to do more biceps and triceps. Because what 18 to 22-year-old college dude doesn't want to do more biceps and triceps? So going back to kind of what I talked about last week, understanding what sword you want to lie on, right? That's not one I wanted to fight. And as a matter of fact, these kids have been playing better. They've been dialed in better to other things, and they've been consistent with it. We're, for these two, on week 11 of them coming in 4 extra lifts a week as part of their routine. Now, not all the routines happen to be with me. There are some guys who shoot extra every day. There are some guys who only shoot extra 1 time a week or 2 times a week. There's some guys who have like activity type shooting, like shooting on the move or whatever it may be, or game type shooting. There's some guys who just shoot standstills extra every day or free throws every day. But what we've noticed is that the more we can keep these kids dialed in with their routine, the better they seem to consistently progress. And I think, again, that that's something that we talk about when it comes to the consistency of training, but we maybe aren't as good with it overall. So this is something I plan on expanding on and building these routines throughout the off season with these young people and really helping them to see the power of the routine in their development and find better ways to help reinforce these in a positive manner and to build on them for them to expand into doing more and more specific things for them individually that they feel help them more. But in order to do this, I had to take a step back and swallow my pride and really listen. So, as I've said a bunch of times, asking questions is important, but at the end of the day, I feel like we all can do a little better at making sure that we're there to help support the routines of the athletes that we get to work with, and we're able to build out these routines by teaching them and empowering them because of what we've been able to do in the past. Would love to hear your input on this. Would love to hear how you do this with the people you get to work with. Would love to hear pros, cons, goods, bads of your situations that you've gotten when you've done these with your athletes too, because I really do think that this is something that we can all be better at. And as always, guys, we're just, trying to start conversation and build better for what we have here in our small little corner of the world of athletics. So would love to hear that from y'all. But as always, guys, truly appreciate everything you do for us here at Central Virginia Sport Performance. We'll be back next week with another My Thoughts Monday. I will see you then.